Hi, parents. This is Rebecca Fagan, and I am the owner and head teacher of thefaganmethod.com. What I wanted to talk to you today is something that concerns a lot of parents. What that is how do you progress? How do you learn? Well, here's the thing. You may have heard about learning styles, and everybody has a different learning style. That is a misnomer. It's not a learning style. It's an information gathering style. It's only the first step when it comes to getting your child understanding what he's supposed to know. It's only the first step. How you gather the information is always the discovery part. And it doesn't go into how you learn the stuff that you gather. So some people may gather information by just listening to it. Some people may gather it better by reading it or watching a movie about it or looking at a procedure or actually getting their hands dirty and into it. This is just a way to acquire information. And everybody goes about it their own way. They all know how to acquire information. In fact, if you look at any toddler in any country in the world, the first thing they do is explore with their mouth. Oh, that looks interesting. Let's see how that tastes. Oh, I wonder if I can do this. I wonder how that tastes. And then they will eat weird stuff. They're exploring with their mouth. They're getting a texture, they're getting a taste, they're finding out whether it leaves little fuzzy things in their mouth or whether it's gritty. Then they look around and then they listen. They can tell the difference between mom and dad's voices just by the sound. Why is this important? Because this is not how they learn, it's how they explore their world around them. And every single person has to do this when they're learning something new. They have to explore something that is outside of their experience. And in doing that, they're starting the learning process. Now, would it surprise you to know that the learning process from that point on is exactly the same for everybody? Now, that's an interesting concept, isn't it? After you've finished doing your exploration, you have basically discovered what you know and what you don't know. And you've stuck your toe into just the basics to find out how many things you need to do to get from where you are to where you want to be. This is an important thing, discovering where you are. But the learning comes after that. After you know what you want to know, after you discovered what you don't know, then you learn how to fill in the gaps. Is it a new skill? Is it new knowledge? Is it a feeling? How does this sound when I talk? How does that feel when I play? How do I get the ball to go further than anybody else? How do I remember those equations, those dates, those places, those names? How do I remember that? And that is up to the student, not the teacher. What are teachers supposed to be teaching? Not subject matter. They are supposed to be teaching children how to learn, how to go from that discovery, how to go from those initial explorations into mastery. And that's one thing that they don't teach. Most teachers will go into a classroom situation and have to assume that nobody in the class knows anything. And that is not true. It's absolutely, patently not true. Everyone that comes into a classroom has their own experiences, their own background, their own culture, their own ways of looking at things, their perception. They have their own way of going about processing information in their head. The teacher provides the information and then asks questions so that the child or the student can understand and process them better in their head. And that is never taught. We always expect to be spoon fed. All the information that is ever available to us is outside of us. And that is not a good assumption. Everybody has it right here. They already understand how they learn. What they need is a process to recognize how this works. Now, if you're interested in discovering what that process is, I'm going to have a webinar July 26th, and I will send out more information as it becomes available, but I'm going to be talking precisely about what this process is, so that when your child is faced with something brand new, they have a way to make it understandable in the shortest amount of time and recallable for as long as they need it. Now, how long do they need it? Well, it depends. Are they studying to pass a test, or are they learning a new skill that they're going to carry with them for the rest of their lives? In music, if you learn a song at age 9, how many times are you ever going to use that in your life? Big surprise. The song that I learned when I was 9 was Bach Prelude. It's still rattling around in here. 60 years later, I can still play it anytime. Any key is a prelude in C. I can play it in D. Why? Because I learned a pattern and I learned how to learn the song. It's not just basically surface level memorization. It goes deep. And each time I play it, I learn something new about the song, and I learn something new about myself. And this is the same process that your children go through every time they learn something new. It's not the subject matter, it's what changes in here. So if you're interested in making sure that your children will benefit for the longest amount of time, for the best results, and to make sure that they can recall all the stuff that they learn as many years later as they want to, you need to see this webinar, July 26th. Keep your eyes open for more information.